Selling for InterSkyline. Tips on making great commissions offering the services we provide. Why sell services for InterSkyline? Here at InterSkyline, we offer the largest commissions and payouts to the sales force signed up to work with us. Generally, it's quadruple what other companies pay, if not much, much higher. Why is that? The reason why our commission rate is so high in comparison to the competition is because it's up to you as the sales rep to find the potential customers and send them our way. Many companies have you sit at your desk giving possible leads to you, and the payout is as low as 15 cents to 50 cents per phone call. So in an hour's time, you don't even make minimum wage with these companies. But when you pound the pavement finding your own prospective customers, it's possible to get 1 or 2 commissions a day, if not more. And with DirecTV and Viasat sales being $100 a pop, that's far better than 15 cents per phone call, believe me. As a salesperson for InterSkyline, your main goal is to find those with even the slightest interest and get them on the phone with us. And we will close the deal by getting the people signed up with DirecTV, Viasat Internet, and or any AT&T services that may be available in their location. Though you're a sales rep, don't worry about trying to close the deal. If you can just get that phone in their hands and get us talking to them, we can do the rest. Closing the sale isn't going to be your main concern. Put your efforts into just finding the customers. No doesn't always mean no. Here's the thing I found in my own personal experience as a salesman. Just because they say no doesn't mean they're not interested. Saying no is an automatic response when anyone you don't know is trying to sell you something. I do it, our call center agents do it, it's natural. There's no trust developed yet. So how do you get used to getting individuals that don't know you to buy a product from you? Well, don't start with people you don't have any acquaintance with. Start out selling to people you do know, such as family and friends. Then move on to those you don't once you get used to selling these products. And you can feel comfortable selling what InterSkyline has to offer. We aren't selling items such as seen on TV products here. These are legitimate services like DirecTV that have been around for years and years. So you have a product that stands on its own. So how do you sell them? Swapping services. I've found with DirecTV, AT&T, and Viasat, you'll want to find what services potential customers have first and work on switching them over to what we have to offer. Switching television providers. If they have cable, dish network, or any type of television provider, you'll want to work on getting them to switch over to DirecTV. You don't have to worry about all of the packages that DirecTV has, how many rooms the customer wants, and so on. The only thing you really have to tell them is the bottom line. The lowest pricing for DirecTV. Right now, it's $35 a month for the cheapest package. After that, just get them on the phone with us, and we'll let them know the rest. Switching internet providers. It's similar with internet services. If they have cable internet, try to swap them over to AT&T UVerse. Or if you live in a rural area, your goal will be swapping them from HughesNet and Exceed over to Viasat Internet, which is a much better satellite internet service by far anyway. They use cutting-edge satellite internet technology, whereas HughesNet and Exceed are stuck in the past. Keep in mind that price is almost always the bottom line for any customer. Customers just about always want to know about pricing first. DirecTV, Viasat Internet, and AT&T always run promotional pricing to new customers. And it's typically a cost that is far below the price they're paying now with their existing service. So with DirecTV, you'll just want to tell them Pricing starts as low as $35 a month. Same with Viasat Internet. Pricing starts as low as $50 a month. Use that lowest package to get their attention. The average Dish Network and cable customer will pay about $150 a month for their TV service alone. So that's a good start to get their thinking on board with ours. Also, as of this point, DirecTV gives out a $100 gift card for switching over to them. I've been at a customer's home and they were eligible for a $300 gift card for the swap. So it really depends on customer credit, incentives, and the promo they're running at the time. You'll be surprised how much of an attention grabber that $100 Visa gift card becomes. A little push goes a long way. Ultimately, it's going to be up to you as a salesperson to come up with your own tactic to make a sale. That's going to take a little time. But sometimes a little push, you don't want to be too pushy, but a little bit of a push will go a long way. Let's say the client has cable internet and you're wanting to try to switch them over to AT&T U-verse. U-verse now has fiber lines in major metro areas, so they have speeds that rival and surpass cable. Plus, they're typically going to be cheaper than cable. How do you find out about their pricing? As mentioned a few times, just get them on the phone with us. We generally can close the sale just by letting them know what options that are available in their area. Now, I realize that this goes back to no doesn't always mean no, but even if they don't feel they're ready to talk to someone, see if you can talk them into getting on the phone with us. For example, I was going door to door selling Viasat Internet in a rural area. The homeowner told me that she did want a better internet, but she wanted to think about it. I pushed the issue. I told her, well, why don't you just let me get you on the phone, and I'm going to take a quick look around at what you have in order to find out if we can take care of what she needs. I dialed it right there in front of her and handed the phone over to the householder, and within 10 minutes, they had her signed up. Where to start selling? Again, it's important to start with family and friends first, and then you will gain the confidence needed before moving on to trying to make sales to people that you don't know. If you sign your own self up, you will also see that the commissions are what we say they are, and on top of that, you're going to get a great service. I've had DirecTV for about 12 years now, and I don't want anybody else. To me, they're definitely the top television provider. They're reliable, and I've been able to keep my bill at a reasonable rate all these years. After family and friends, then what? I always emphasize signing yourself up first or family and friends, but what do you do when you are ready to move on to people you don't know? Most salespeople never feel they're ready to go to people to try to sell them a product. If that's the case, why not have them come to you? As an example, the company that we use to sign up our customers recommends setting up a booth at festivals and fairs in your area. With a few DirecTV, Viasat, or AT&T signs, you can draw people your way. And there's a lot of people that go through these festivals and fairs. Make sure the signs that you use, though, look legitimate. People will ignore your booth if you just wrote everything on a poster board with a marker. Having the AT&T and DirecTV logo helps. This method gets people to come to you if you aren't yet ready to go to them. Door-to-door sales aren't for everybody. Something that most people don't want to do as a salesperson is go from door-to-door selling anything. But don't knock door-to-door sales. They have companies out there that this is their only way they sell DirecTV, Dish Network, and other types of television. And that's because by and large it's the most effective means of selling these services. I did question it at first myself, but when I started doing it, I realized that it can be profitable. In large neighborhoods, there are many that sell DirecTV and AT&T products from door to door and make 2 and more sales every day. Some do more, some do less, depending on how much time that's put into it. Be sure if you do this to check with your local area on what type of permit you'll need. Generally, you would have to get approved for a permit, and it's easy to do, but you have to get approval from the city just to go from door to door to salesman, and these permits are cheap. Social media. There are other means to sell the services we offer at InterSkyline. Social media is one. Facebook has a marketplace that you can post to at no cost. Shower various cities close to you with posts in their marketplace on a regular basis. Facebook in itself lets you socialize with your friends and acquaintances. Post the same spiel that you would give or the sales pitch that you would give at the door. For example, DirecTV as low as $35 a month. Be brief and give just enough info to get them communicating with you. Don't put too much information in a post or people just won't read it. Capture their attention and tell them to contact you for more details. Once you get them on the phone, we can seal the deal. Flyers and canvassing. Flyers are another great way to get a sale. It takes placing quite a few of them before someone responds, but they're very cheap to print out, or you can go to a print shop and get thousands made up. Scour neighborhoods, pass them out in large public areas, wherever there's people. We do have a printable flyer that you can use, and it will always be up to date with any new promotions that are offered. I cannot emphasize this enough that each sales rep is going to come up with their own best practices. There is no one single best method of making sales with the services that we have here at InterSkyline. It's different for each sales rep. Some excel going from door to door. Others use the method of setting up booths at festivals and fairs. Some like to just stay at home and use the internet, such as social media and Facebook, to make their sales. It's dependent on who you are and how you operate. Just remember, we pay out some of the highest commissions in the industry, and because of it, even a few sales a week for those that are wanting to just earn some extra money can become a game changer to them. With effort and time, you will see what works best in your case.